I've come back in again because this message is for the medical profession. I'm a nurse. Started training in 1966. 1967, they brought salmon in. But prior to that, everybody credits Nye Bevan as being in charge of and the person who gifted to the world the National Health Service. And what an absolute lie. And I mean lie. He stole the National Health Service. The health service was there. And I've actually got proof of all of that. Proof. My father worked in the unions. And there was a problem there. So, there's loads of data that I've got. But the main one was the fact that I didn't have to look for a doctor because I had a doctor. Everybody had a doctor. There was Rechabite doctors, etc. GPs, and all of the unions were looked after, and their families looked after. Plus the fact that my husband was born in 1928, and there's a picture of him with his two brothers, and they've got all the welfare stuff and the shoes, etc. All of that was provided, plus any grants that they needed for food, etc. Plus there was free milk in schools. That was actually donated by all of the Conservative women in Glasgow who did that. But in any case, all of these things, I don't really want the medical profession to worry about what's happening, and the fact that now Rishi Sunak is saying that you're going to be means tested. Wow. Yeah, exactly. So I don't really think that there's anybody in medicine today or nursing today who is my peer. Now there you are, because nursing is unlearned art and a skill. And I'm like Liam Neeson. I have a certain set of skills. So if you want to know more about everything and concerning what's happening in the world, I wrote a book about it because I had to. It was all going about my head. And it's called Nightingale Nursing, ? Who Knew, ? By Jean Ritchie Keenan. I put the Ritchie in so that my friends would know who it was. And so far, I've not had a penny from it. But boy, was I glad to get it all out my head. So that's actually still online from the first. And also, I never put it out on the market, but I know that you can get it, and it's only a couple of pounds online, and that's the quickest way. Also, I've started my own company. It's called Keenan Health Enterprises, and it's a dormant company just now, but it's up and running, and I've posted quite a lot on it. And go on there, because I need you all to read the stuff that's there. You just download it and print it, and there you are. So that's that dealt with. So the story is, what's the difference between God and a doctor? Well, God knows he's not a doctor. That's the start. And also, when we were trained, we were told that the main cause of osteoarthritis was poverty. Yeah. And then, of course, there was rickets, and they were all dealt with once we got the free milk in, etc., and free meals for everybody. But that was another thing. If you were poor, you got free meals. But all of these things, it's important for the doctors to know about, because when Miss Nightingale went to Scutari, she took with her nurses, and it was Elizabeth Fry, who was the prisoner's friend, and she had nurses that were trained, and so did Miss Nightingale, and she had all her own money and gear, etc., linen and things for cleaning. And please don't think she didn't know anything about hygiene. Essentially, she was a scientist, okay? and she was the first scientist who was, they used her data to identify all the things that had been wrong. Okay, so what the doctor said was, well, she's not registered. Well, strange thing is, neither were they. So she insisted that they get registered. So this is for the BMA as well, okay? For all of you. So as I say, one of the things that she said in the book, I've got it here just to sort of remind everybody, that she said, "I stand by the altar of the murdered men, and while I live, I fight their cause." And that's why she started it, that's why she did it. And she was an exemplary woman, and for her time, the fact that she was so educated, she was. There wasn't an aspect that her parents didn't indulge her in to learn Greek and all of these things, and so that she didn't want to get married, because she just felt that she had been going round looking at everybody and helping them, and now she knew what her cause was, and away she went, okay? So this is really to help the doctors, because yes, I want to help you. And when it all started out, doctoring was like a curate's egg, good in parts. But nowadays, what's happening is that the nurses are being taken to court. And I know what nursing is like. And it's two different systems, both in America and here. And in America, I'm actually still registered to work until 2023. And also I'm still registered, I've got my license for driving. But I don't have that here. And the circumstances of that are horrific. However, as I say, I'm not bearing any grudges. But this is the important thing. There are no rewards for doing your duty. That is only what is expected of you. And the very fact that you're all polishing your gongs, etc. And it all happened on your watch. And there was Ted Heath, and to answer the problem, we got the think tank together. And with all the elderly coming on, crikey, look at what's happening now with the pandemic and the level of elderly that who gives a toss about the elderly? Well, hello. Come through it, and having come through it, we've got experience and we know, and we're stronger, and that's it. So, as I say, I'm going to proceed on my journey, and I just wanted to hand all that out to the medical profession and also to the nurses, to know that there'll be no more of this, that you're losing your job because of either if you're mentally ill or whatever. If anybody accuses you, right away, I did the back to nursing course in legal consulting, and I want the money to be there so that you've got somebody who is the same rank as you and above, that go to examine everything that you've been accused of. And they take that back to 2 QCs, and all of that is paid for. Okay, so, and when my book comes out that about the way that medicine is going to be, it's no longer a democracy, because when Nye Bevan stole everything, he left it that you could fight for legal aid. But as I say, everything was in place, and he ignored them. He ignored their letters, etc. And they all lost their jobs eventually. And he took over. And so, hello Labour Party. There you go. I'm going to finish on that. I think that's better. Short and sweet. On you go.